And it's pretty good damage. Oh, nope. Dead. Yep. Yep, I'm dead. Yep, dead. Dead. Ain't no way. And critical hit, of course. Dead. Hello and welcome back to another no capture run. Today is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Our run starts off with a pre-rendered cutscene that looks pretty terrible. Originally, I was going to make fun of the choppy frame rate and the horrible graphics, but that's been done to death. And at the end of the day, we're still running a main series Pokemon game here. So we're just going to get into the rules of the run. And that is that I cannot capture a single Pokemon. If I have to capture a Pokemon, the run is done. Gift Pokemon are permitted, but that doesn't really apply to this game because most of the gift Pokemon you can get is from when the game's already almost over. There's really no point to exclude them or include them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I picked the Duck because I already picked Fuecoco before and did a run with Fuecoco, which was really fun, and he's definitely my favorite starter. But I tried the Duck out. I decided to give the Duck the only nickname that matters, and the proper nickname, which is, of course, DuckTales. Now I'm going to explain to you over the course of the next 15 minutes how this run is actually impossible, and how no one can beat this game without capturing a single Pokemon. You are going to have to capture a Pokemon. I decided to give a sandwich to a dog that looked very strange, yet hungry. He happily accepted, and then it was time to battle my rival again. Which, even though your rival starts off with your weakness, in most cases for more modern Pokemon games, the rival starts off with the weakness in part to try and make it a little bit easier on players, kind of like tutorial battles, so that you'll always have the advantage. The problem comes in the fact of terrestrialization in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is a mechanic that allows you to change the type of your Pokemon based on some arbitrary circumstances. Most of the time, you can decide what type it is, capturing it from some special raid or event. But in this case, she has an electric type, which terrestrializes into an electric type. So it's dual electric type, and it gains a bonus to its attack based upon dual electric types. That means it's stacking the electric typing, so more damage against me. And as you can see, it hits like a truck, already doing over half my life, which means I can only KO it with 2 hits. There are ways around this, and there are things that you can do to mitigate this, but overall, you're going to have to deal with this when you're doing a run of this nature. I'm not planning to evolve the Duck, but it really doesn't matter in the end because, again, there is absolutely no way this is going to work. I decided to go to a shop to at least try to increase my chances and buy an item that'll help me out. There's several items that you can get early on that are really nice and will give you a boost in damage, even if you choose not to terrestrialize, but utilizing everything is what's needed for this run. I then decided to start the game off proper, and I encountered my first Team Star event. Oh boy. It wasn't a difficult battle. Even if I wasn't doing a no capture run and I had multiple Pokemon, it probably would have been significantly easier. But with that said, Team Star is going to be the biggest thorn in our sides for this run. I was told to go for a treasure hunt, and I decided that I should start off by battling some beasts. Now, when you do a no capture run, you may encounter some Pokemon that are extremely difficult for you to overcome because you don't have another Pokemon, which means if you're afflicted by conditions like love, for example, you can't swap your Pokemon out to get rid of the condition. You can't get rid of confusion, you can't get rid of poison, paralysis. You'll have to use a healing item or just suffer through them. So I finally made my way to the first Titan, which upgrades the dog that we saw earlier and will help us just to maneuver through the game itself. This Titan in particular is pretty low leveled, so it's not particularly difficult to battle through. After a few stat boosts, I was able to overcome the first part very, very easily. And then following that up, once again, a few stat boosts allowed me to overcome the second part pretty easily as well. This is the part where you actually have a double battle with another trainer, and it does make it somewhat a little bit easier. At the very least, it takes the pressure off of you taking all the hits. I defeated the Stony Cliff Titan, and I got the bonus. Now, I want to show you how ridiculous some of the gym tests are in this game, and I'm literally just going to show you how this test goes right here. Here you go. You can watch it in its full glory. That's it. That was the gym test. That was unedited. I didn't mess with that. I didn't do anything with that. So, Scarlet and Violet's gameplay is top tier. I went on to the gym leader, which is a bug type gym leader, and it's a little strange that they made the bug type gym leader also like a famous chef with a restaurant and cafe, and it's just a bit odd that the bug gym leader would be that. Being a bug gym leader and the duck having access to attacks like wing attack and air cutter, it didn't make it a challenging battle at all whatsoever. So once again, after acquiring a few boosts, some wing attacks is all it took to take down the bug gym leader. And as always, because this is Scarlet and Violet, every major trainer battle is going to have terrestrialization, so her Teddiursa is a bug type. If you know that they're going to terrestrialize, you can plan for it and use a super effective attack, making the battle significantly easier on your part. I decided to go on to battle another Titan to grab not only more experience, but more upgrades for the dog that I'm using, and this one was a Stork. This one in particular seems to be one of the more ridiculous Pokemon designs of Scarlet and Violet. Despite this, it's still massive, and they decided to emphasize and highlight what this Pokemon actually looks like, which is, again, absolutely insane. It's not my goal to berate this game or to make this game look terrible or to downgrade it. I'm literally just showing you the unfiltered results of me streaming this game. This is a real Pokemon. This is really what they decided was the best idea. And again, we took it down pretty easily thanks to Quaxley being a somewhat high level at this time. The next gym test was to find Sunfloros, and yeah, that one just destroyed the Nintendo Switch's frame rate. It wasn't necessarily a tech demo. It just, yeah, chops up the frame rate. The grass gym leader was the second one that I challenged, and this guy has a whip. It may be a callback to Gen 1, but a little bit strange. I'm pretty happy that this was the second gym leader, because dealing with a grass gym leader, even though I have wing attack and I have moves that will boost my abilities and I have moves like air slash, it's still incredibly difficult to try and counter a grass type when you're using an unevolved water type Pokemon, despite it being a starter. And despite having a somewhat high level, I did not grind to the point where it was ridiculous. I'm only in my level 20s, mid 20s at this point in time, so it's not as if I'm like level 30 or 40 fighting the second gym leader here. Again, this gym leader terrestrialized his final Pokemon, being a Pseudo-Wudo into an actual grass type, and if you know, you can plan for that. One air slash took down Pseudo-Wudo. No, it didn't. I was very, very fortunate and lucky that I flinched him, because he was probably going to use something like Wood Hammer on me, which may have one-hit KO'd me. But I got the flinch off, and so Pseudo-Wudo goes down. Another gym leader in the bag. Afterwards, I was challenged by Trainer Nimona, which, I mean, again, at this point in time, isn't particularly a very, very difficult trainer, but the biggest issue still being her electric type that is going to come into play later on. But we face off with her evolved starter Pokemon, terrestrialized as a fire type, and we one-shot it thanks to a few of our in-game move boosts. Boosting your Pokemon on a no capture challenge run really is the way to go, and it helps you to sweep the enemy. I go on to the third gym, and that would be Larry's gym. I just had to order a secret menu item, and yeah, you passed the test. Larry is the gym leader, and Larry is one of my favorite gym leaders. I absolutely love normal types and think they're fantastic Pokemon. After a few move boosts, boosting my stats up, I was able to take down his Koala, and even though I love the Dunsparce, I couldn't give it any slack. I gotta beat you, Larry. So I took down the Dunsparce as well. His final Mon, which ironically is really funny because terrestrialization is supposed to give you like this crazy edge against your opponent, but when he terrestrialized, he just terrestrialized it back into a normal type instead of terrestrializing a different Pokemon into a normal type, right? He terrestrialized his normal flying type into a normal type. So it really didn't do too much. I was greeted by Gita, and I told her to Gita the F. Anyways, this is the portion of the video where the video really does come to an end, and it's really unfortunate for you, the viewer, because I'm sure there was plenty more that I could actually show you guys and run through the game with you together. I actually did play through a massive chunk of this, but unfortunately, as I said before, you can't beat Scarlet and Violet without capturing a single Pokemon. I mean, I don't count trade Pokemon against that necessarily, but I don't think it's right either to just trade over 3 Pokemon. You can't just trade over 3 Pokemon either. You do need to actually offer something in exchange for them. Gift Pokemon from the internet, I don't necessarily count them either, but at the same time, I don't think it's a no capture run if you are grabbing gift Pokemon from Mystery Gift or an exchange. So when you do challenge Team Star and any of their bases, you have to have 2 other Pokemon to do like the all-out battle where you're battling Pokemon quickly and defeating 30 Pokemon quick. Then you get to challenge the boss, and it's a giant car. I'm fighting a literal car right now. But the point is, you have to capture 2 other Pokemon to get to this point in the game. If you don't capture 2 other Pokemon, you cannot challenge Team Star. It's pretty ironic that they're supposed to be based after an outlaw type of team. A team that doesn't listen to rules. A team that doesn't follow instructions. And yet, here they are forcing you to conform to a very specific rule. Why can't I challenge this team with just 1 Pokemon? No, I have to have 3 Pokemon. So as unfortunate as it is, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the video does come to an end. I was unable to complete Pokemon Scarlet and Violet without capturing a single Pokemon. The game forces you to capture a Pokemon. There's no real workarounds unless you accept the fact that you're magically getting Pokemon out of the thin air and accepting gift Pokemon. So ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate your support watching this video. And I know that it's not the funnest thing to get the wind taken out of your sails, hoping and praying against all odds that somehow I was able to beat the game with nothing but a duck. And surely I would have, as I've done in previous games, beaten the games without capturing a single Pokemon, and an unevolved starter at that. But, unfortunately, that's not the way it went. I would appreciate it if you liked and shared this video. Make sure to click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and check out some of my other no capture runs. I've got quite a few of them. I've done every Pokemon game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.